Previously on Gaming Delight, we took a look back on Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Famicom disk system. As stated then, it was too similar to the first game and extremely difficult, especially for the Western video game market. But Nintendo of America needed a sequel to Super Mario Bros. So what did they come up with? A completely different and far less challenging Super Mario Bros. 2. How did they do that? By taking a different game made by the Mario team and converting it into a Mario game. It's the Western Super Mario Bros. 2 tonight on Gaming Delight. In 1987, Nintendo released Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic on the Famicom disk system. It was developed by Nintendo's Research and Development 4 team in cooperation with Fuji Television to promote Fuji's big event, Yume Kojo 87 or Dream Factory 87, a festival used to advertise its shows. The protagonists of the game are the mascots of the festival: Imajin, his parents Mama and Papa, and his girlfriend Lena. Their mission? Rescue Imajin's siblings from Mamu, a giant toad trying to take over the dreamland of Mu and its dream machine. The game proved to be successful, and Nintendo's Research and Development 4 team saw it as the perfect game to turn into a Super Mario sequel for Western gamers. Many modifications were made, and Doki Doki Panic became Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, released in October of 1988 in North America and April of 1989 in PAL territories. The game would also be released for the Famicom in Japan as Super Mario USA on September 14, 1992. In the game, Mario has a dream of traversing a staircase to a door leading to a land of dreams known as Subcon. Upon opening the door, a mysterious voice pleads for help, as Subcon has been taken over by the evil toad Mamu, now named Wart. Before Mario can make sense of the situation, he wakes up from his dream. The next day, Mario, his brother Luigi, and their friends Princess Peach and Toad have a picnic, where Mario explains the details of his dream. The other three, having had the same dream, are surprised. They soon notice a small cave, where they find a staircase leading to the door to Subcon. They enter the Land of Dreams to save it and defeat Wart. Mario and his team traverse through 20 levels in 7 worlds. Between stages, you can choose one of the 4 characters to play as. Each character has a different trait. Mario is the most balanced character, with equal jump, strength, and speed. Luigi's strength and speed aren't anything to write home about, but he has the ability to jump higher than the others. Toad has the highest strength and speed, but his jump is low. Princess Peach, aka Princess Toadstool, isn't quite fast or strong, but she does have the ability to hover for a short period of time. The characters can also dash, a feature that wasn't present in Doki Doki Panic. Throughout each stage, characters can pluck vegetables out of the ground and throw them at enemies, rather than stomp on them. They can even lift some enemies up from the ground and throw them either into a pit, at other enemies, or as far back as they can. Enemies include Shy Guys, Tweeters, Pidgeots, Hoopsters, Flurries, Sparks, Ninjas, Sniffets, Bezos, Cobrats, Pokey, Ostro, and Bob-Ombs. Every time 8 enemies are beaten, hearts will appear to recover a health bar. You start with 2 full health bars. If you drop down to 1, you shrink down. Again, absent from Doki Doki Panic. Occasionally, you can find jars that lead you to small rooms, similar to warp pipes. Some are essential. Often you'll need to find keys to unlock doors in order to advance. These are hidden in rooms guarded by living masks known as Phantos. When a character grabs the key, one of the Phantos chases after them until they lose a life or the door is unlocked. There are also sets of cherries somehow hanging in midair. I don't know how, but that's the way it is. Collecting 5 earns you a Starman power-up, granting temporary invincibility. Aside from vegetables, the grass also hides 1-up mushrooms, bombs, and stopwatches that temporarily freeze enemies. To gain more health bars, you find a magic potion, and toss it to reveal a door leading to another dimension known as subspace. There, for a short period of time, you can pluck coins from the grass, and if placed in the right position, a large mushroom to increase your health capacity. In some stages, you can also find jars in subspace that can take you a few worlds ahead, similar to warp zones. After crouching for a few seconds, you can perform a high jump, regardless of which character you choose. There's also POW blocks from the original Mario Bros. Arcade game. Throwing these wipes out many of the enemies on screen that are standing on the ground. Many stages end with a battle against Birdo, a prehistoric dinosaur capable of spitting projectiles at your character. Taking 3 hits from her own eggs or other items knocks her out. She comes in 3 different colors, each with a different trait. The standard pink Birdo shoots eggs. The red Birdo shoots eggs and fireballs. The green only shoots fireballs, and thus has to be beaten by mushroom blocks. Beating Birdo forces her to surrender a crystal ball, and once picked up, it unlocks the masked gate, taking you to the next stage. Clearing a stage allows you to play the bonus slot machine game for extra lives using the coins you picked up in subspace. One can earn up to 5 lives per coin. In the last stage of each world, the masked gate leads you to a boss battle. World 1 pits you against Mouser, a giant mouse-like enemy wearing shades and throwing bombs. If you take one of his bombs and place it on his platform, and he's in the right position, Mouser will take a hit from the bomb. It takes 3 hits to take him out and open the gates to the next world. World 2 takes place in a desert area, with quicksand traps here and there. The boss is Triclide, a 3-headed snake capable of shooting fireball projectiles. Hitting him 3 times with mushroom blocks knocks him out to take you to World 3. World 3's boss is once again Mouser. This time, he's more aggressive with his bombs, and it takes 5 hits to beat him. World 4 takes place in a cold climate. Snow and ice are everywhere, and flurries have a huge advantage. The first stage of this world is the only one in which you don't do battle with the boss. Instead, you deal with a gauntlet of autobombs, fireball shooting cannons on wheels piloted by Shy Guys. A pink Birdo does appear in World 4-3, but instead of as an enemy, she's there to assist you, albeit unwillingly. You have to ride on one of her eggs across the sea to gain access to the main dungeon, where the boss Fry Guy awaits. Fry Guy is a massive fireball who shoots, obviously, fireballs. He doesn't simply die after taking 3 hits from mushroom blocks. Instead, he splits into 4 bouncing sentient fireballs. Every time one is destroyed, the others move faster, but it's possible to take more than one out at once, maybe even all 4. World 5 goes back to the grasslands of Worlds 1 and 3, but with a trickier layout. The boss here? Well, in Doki Doki Panic, it was a white version of Mouser, but much more difficult. In Super Mario Bros. 2, he's replaced with Clawgrip, a giant enemy crab. I swear I've been watching too much of that PlayStation 3 presentation.
So here's this giant enemy crab, and you attack its weak point for massive damage.
Anyway, Clawgrip tosses boulders at your character, but if you can grab one of them, you can toss it at him. Once Clawgrip takes enough hits, he's history. World 6 is back to the desert, but this time with more obstacles than before. Like with World 2, Triclide is the boss. This time he's standing on a very narrow platform, making it harder to preserve mushroom blocks. But beat him and it's on to the 7th and final world. World 7 takes place high in the sky where Wart resides. In this world, there are only 2 stages instead of 3. Why? Well, in the original Doki Doki Panic, Pokey and Piki had writ the last chapter of the book they got pulled into. This is carried over to Super Mario Bros. 2. In the final stage, instead of simply opening the masked gate after picking up the crystal, the gate becomes a floating enemy. Hit it with the mushroom block 3 times and it opens its mouth, leading to the final battle with Wart. Wart belches out bubble projectiles that you must avoid. How can he be beaten? Thankfully, the Dream Machine pops vegetables out. and vegetables are Wart's greatest weakness. You must grab one of these veggies and throw it into Wart's mouth to weaken him. Feed him 6 veggies, and you finally defeated Wart. The people of Subcon are set free, and they crowd surf the helpless Wart across the screen before they give him a major beating. As this happens, you see the number of stages each character cleared as they wave to the camera. Afterwards, Mario awakens briefly and wonders if everything he'd been through had just been another dream, before going back to sleep. Now, to hype up the game's release, Nintendo scrapped their Nintendo Fun Club in favor of the more expansive magazine known as Nintendo Power. The very first issue was sent to over 600,000 Fun Club subscribers free of charge. Super Mario Bros. 2 was the featured game in this issue. Super Mario Bros. 2 was a huge success with critics and in sales. Over 7 million copies were sold, making it the 4th best-selling NES game of all time. It was also the game that introduced staples to the series, including Birdo, Bob-Ombs, Pokey, and Shy Guys. And it made Luigi taller than Mario in-game. But it wouldn't be the first time Luigi got that treatment overall. That would be the front cover of Famicom Grand Prix 2, 3D Hot Rally. Anyway, when the game was new to the States, it, along with several other new games, were difficult to find on account of a global chip shortage.
It may be the most addictive toy in history, and it's definitely the hottest thing this Christmas. Nintendo video games. They first arrived from Japan 3 years ago, and now millions of American kids are hooked and mesmerized. When they do stop to talk, it's in a language only they understand.
What's more, in December of 1988, ABC's news program 2020 featured a report with anchor John Stossel waiting in line to get a copy of Super Mario Bros. 2 as a favor to the show's director. As he waited, he interviewed other potential buyers.
This man came all the way from Indiana to get one. He came 1,000 miles just for this game?
Yes. I've done 7 stores a day for 3 weeks now. I cannot find it.
I have to live with my kids for the rest of the year, so I have to have this on Christmas Day.
Stossel also interviewed store employees about the craze.
The last Super Mario Bros. 2 was just sold.
They get upset. Well, they say, oh, can you take my name? Can you take my credit card, please? Can you do something? My kid wants it. His friend has it, and they're not friends anymore because he doesn't have it.
As well as Nintendo's own Peter Main.
Believe me, creating a shortage of this kind was nobody's design, and it's just one of those combinations of demand that far exceeded our most optimistic projections and an inability on the chip supplier to fulfill it.
He even interviewed a group of children gathering for a Nintendo party, while a mother watched them with concern.
Gets their mind off school when they first come home from school, but then it gets their mind totally off school. So we had to take it away for a while because homework wasn't getting done, bedtime got pushed aside.
What do you mean take it away for a while?
I disassembled it and put it in the back of a closet for a while.
After the report, in the studio, Stossel told Barbara Walters about staying up late playing NES games with his wife while producing the segment, and how one of his children loved to play Duck Hunt, while also addressing what limits were to be made.
Well, my 3-year-old likes kill ducks, and my wife and I stayed up till midnight playing it. I just think you have to pay attention and limit the time, and it's fun.
It's too bad I was only 7 months old when this aired, and I didn't even know about video games back then.
Now on to a much more serious report.
Super Mario Bros. 2 would see re-releases over the years. It was released as part of Super Mario All-Stars, a compilation of the 8-bit NES games, each with a 16-bit touch-up, and with unlimited continues. In 2001, when the Game Boy Advance launched, along came Super Mario Advance with a port of the 16-bit version of Super Mario Bros. 2. Though the screen was cropped to accommodate the GBA screen, a lot of features were added, including a scoring system and ace coins. The original 8-bit game was soon released on the Wii, Wii U, and 3DS Virtual Consoles, as well as Nintendo Switch Online. Sadly, Doki Doki Panic never got another chance. Now, when I was young, I never owned an NES, but I did own a Super NES, and one of the games I had was Super Mario All-Stars, which included a 16-bit remake of Super Mario Bros. 2. I didn't care how different it was from the earlier games. To me, a Mario game is a Mario game. Plus, it was a good opportunity to play as Toad and Peach for a change. Then the Game Boy Advance version came, and I was hooked. Though finding the Yoshi eggs after beating the game became a frustration. It wasn't until the Wii Virtual Console came around that I was finally able to play the original 8-bit game. Super Mario Bros. 2 was one of my all-time favorites, not just on the NES, but period. It barely makes my top 10, though that's subject to change over time. Please stay sub for the next review, as I cover the biggest Mario game ever to hit Nintendo's 8-bit console. Thanks again for watching Gaming Delight. Until next time, happy gaming!